Hello and happy Tuesday to my dragon family. Here we are again, going live. This is Araya Onra, also known as the Dragon Lady, and I'm your guide. I'm here to help everybody that's awakening to the dragon energies, to themselves, to know what to do with that. How do you work with that? What do you do? And so if you have questions about that, please reach out through dragonwithin.com or invokehealing.com. You'll find a contact. You can email me directly, Araya, at either of those. And I've had some great questions, and I love to answer the questions on the weekly lives because they benefit everybody. So let's first off, I'm noticing here that I need my volume all the way up. Oh my goodness. Let's get started here. I just did my whole introduction without my microphone, with my volume low. It's because I just came out of session. So let's see if... Alright, now we have sound quality. Yes, everything to answer your questions. So let's go into first off, the Orion dragons. I had someone just write a general question to me wanting to know more about the Orion dragons. So any of you that have the book, so the Dragon Within, you can get it on dragonwithin.com. There's 3 different languages, there's 3 different formats: hardback, paperback, and digital. The digital's in 3 different forms. So you can get Kindle, you can get for Mac, or you can get a PDF. So something for everybody. You'll find a form that works for you. In that book, I go through how to work with, it's a guidebook, specific dragons from different realms, and the Orion dragons are listed in there in detail. The 3 that I talk about in there are the 3 core main triangulation energies that come through that 5th dimensional plane of Orion. So we've got the gold, the silver, and the copper, gold, silver, and copper. So their names, their mantras, how to work with them are in there. Each of those, as I say, is one of the lineages. So through all the dimensional planes coming in, bringing energies into us or extending energies out from this system, they triangulate in. They come down through all the different dimensional planes, and so there are different dragons as guardians at those dimensional planes. So the ones in Orion are the gold, silver, and copper, Jira, Rihanna, and Maslow. And that doesn't mean they're the only dragons in Orion. So this is what I wanted to discuss today, that if you have Orion in your chart, if you have a longing for Orion, I know that for me, when I oriented to the sky, my whole life, starting from childhood, the only constellation I could ever find, the Big Dipper's an obvious one that everyone can do, but I could only ever find Orion, and I always went to it. That was like my North Star. It was my guiding light of something in me triggering when I would see it. Something about it felt home to me, and that led me to some discoveries of the dragons there, of my lifetimes there, and coming to a place to understand that as this realm was being created, and this is sort of perfect, it's going to tie into talking about Tiamat, we had to experience the drop down from, so most dragon realms are in 22nd dimension or above. Coming down even into this universal system is 12D in Andromeda, and as that was dropped down to create this system to drop all the way down into 3D for Gaia, every step stage of that way, we had incarnations in those different star systems. So whether you were a dragon in Orion, or a star being in Orion, or another body form in Orion, that was probably a stepping stone for you. You probably have memory there. If it's not Orion, it could be Ceres, could be the Pleiades, some of the other systems connected into those. So if you're having other than gold, silver, and copper dragons come into your field and you feel like they're connected to Orion, they very well could be, because that may be actually direct family or incarnational aspect information of yourself in that system. But if you want to work with the energies of Orion, the 5D energies, and the 3 core gateways of power, love, and wisdom, those are the gold, silver, and copper dragons, and they have a lot of beautiful work to do with you. And that is all brought out in the book. What each one does, how you call them in, what you can expect in a meditation with them, and then the sky's the limit because they're going to take it from there. So that being said, in that system, dropping down, dropping down, dropping down, as the earth plane was being created, as the higher dimensional template, the structural geometric template that is fifth dimensional in and around the earth, that is now 3D elemental, all of that had to be created. So if God is sending in this energy of the breath of life, creating and dropping down, it still took process to go down and come into form. So in that form, I perceive Tiamat as the sort of mama guardian figure around Gaia, who's her protector, who's her guardian, while she's almost in an incubative state, waiting to step into her higher consciousness, waiting to see if she can actually rise out of a third dimensional experience and ascend and come back into her higher consciousness of knowing as a being. Just like we are. We've got to remember, we've got to go back through the veil and pull our memory back. Well, she's doing the same thing. So who is Tiamat? Tiamat gets a bad rap. There are many characters out there that are seen as negative, seen as demonic, seen as dark energy, or seen as chaotic energy. Tiamat is chaos. She is the mother of form. So she is one that holds the capacity to breathe form into being. So if a dragon could breathe lava out of a volcano and create landmass, she would have that impetus. She would hold that. So it would be natural for her to be the guardian of Gaia as a consciousness, of this planet, this planetary system. So Tiamat, I also addressed sort of briefly in the book. She is that mama energy. She is fierce. She is protective. She is going to be sure that you are of right integrity to be tapping in and working with Gaia or any of the stuff connected with the inner planes of Earth. So not many people have a direct experience with Tiamat as a dragon, like in a meditation. But if you do, a lot of people do have like her name coming in. Why do I keep hearing Tiamat? Why is it coming out? She may be calling for you to connect with her, to have information shared of something that you can do to assist Gaia. You may be one of those that has a very direct role with assisting Gaia in her journey, in her own ascension process, and whatever that is for you, you need to go through Tiamat. So Tiamat might be actually calling out to you, saying, find out about Tiamat, find out who I am, come see me, come visit me. So I will say, when you first connect with Tiamat, if you set that intention and go into meditation and call her forth, and she comes, the experiences I've had with her are to first present as a big, menacing red dragon eye. It's pretty foreboding. It's pretty intense. It's, I wouldn't say terrifying, but it definitely puts you on edge of, oh, I'm being like given the once over right now. And she will scan, she will like look through you to see your true intent. And if you pass that muster, then she will soften and let you start communicating with her. She is massive. She wraps around the entire planet, so you can imagine as a dragon how big she is. The dragons of Mu that are described in the book, there's 12 that encompass in the tectonic plates around the planet. But even they, all 12, are maybe the size of a half an ocean, or in length anyway. So she actually, from tip to tail, end of the tail, wraps all the way around Gaia. That's how big she is. That's a big energy to work with. Doesn't mean you're not meant to. It means just be ready when you go to do that. And one of the interesting things I learned in being with her multiple times, and always information comes through in sessions or in activations or things that I'm doing with my Dragon Hearts or in my teaching. More information comes, and the most recent information sometime last year about Tiamat was that in the higher dimensional plane, so she holds this red eye in our elemental world, in 3D, or what's close to 3D, and that's that guardianship. But when you move into experiencing her in her higher dimensional formats, her eyes actually shift to gold. And so you will know which dimension you're working with her in by her eye color and what she's doing with you. She might take you on a journey with her to see more of the history, to have more of an understanding of your role with Gaia. So there's all kinds of ways that can play out, but I wanted to bring in, just so you have a general idea who she is. She's not this beast that is just out to destroy. She is chaos in form. She is the mother of form, but her role is to hold Gaia as a protective, like, outer shell almost in this realm. Is what she does in other realms is up to her. And so there may be memories, there may be experience, there may be Akashic history of other things she's done, as there is of any of us and things we've done, especially as dragon. So I like to go in with an open heart and zero expectation or preconceived judgment or notion when I connect with a being like Tiamat, who is in a lot of stories as sort of a bad player, as naughty. And you'll find a very different side to her if you actually just go in and let her tell the story. Let her connect with you. And if you are feeling that call, as this person who reached out with the question was, why do I keep hearing the word Tiamat? Why do I have the name Tiamat coming into my field? It's because you have a direct role with Gaia. You have a connection, whether it's into the elementals or deep into Middle Earth, that's something to do with the role for Gaia's ascension is in your corner. And she wants you to wake up to that and come into a knowing of it. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. Hopefully that's insightful or gives you another direction to turn with your exploration of the dragons. Everything always wants to be heart-led, but if you have gold, silver, or copper, or Orion dragons, that's your pathway, as is if Tiamat's been calling. All right, so if you need assistance, I know that my calendar has been pretty booked up lately. After the great interview with Julia Balaz, I had an influx of new interest, and we've got that in the group, which is super exciting. We've had lots of new members join in from all over the world, and so some of these discussions going back to maybe early subjects, maybe what's going on with that. So hopefully you heard that. We've got a signal issue with it cutting out and trying to reconnect, so I don't know if that actually recorded or not. But wishing you a beautiful week. If you need assistance and you're looking at my booking calendar for a discovery call or a 20-minute dragon reading or a full session, keep checking, because it only goes 3 weeks out. So if the 3 weeks are booked and you keep looking, I'm not booked out for the next 2 years. I'm booked out for the next 3 weeks, and every few days that will open up to the next week's sessions, and you just need to keep checking back. If you absolutely can't find anything and you're really, really desperate to get on the schedule, send me an email, because sometimes I have cancellations, or I can wheedle something in and rearrange something so that I can squeeze you in. And I like to always accommodate where I can, but we do have a booking calendar to sort of manage the first layer of that. All right, so wishing you a beautiful week. Send your questions, and we'll see what we talk about next Tuesday. All right, bye for now.